Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Daily Life. It's Friday, November 1st. It's the weekend. For me, anyway. I don't know about you, if you're done work yet, wherever you are, but it will be the weekend soon if it isn't already. And this weekend is especially good. I'm going to explain to you why. This weekend is the time change weekend. That's right. On Sunday morning at 2 o'clock, we move our clocks back 1 hour, which essentially gives you a free hour of sleep for doing absolutely nothing. Now, I don't know how about you, but that sounds like a pretty darn good deal to me. Now, of course, we make up for this in the spring when we spring ahead again and we lose an hour of sleep. But for now, we can take solace in the fact that in a couple of days, in fact, tomorrow night, we get an extra hour of sleep. And that's all right. Now, I love the fall time change. It makes the transition to winter just a little bit easier. As I talked about on Wednesday, winter really sucks. The fall time change makes it easier because you feel more rested on that first weekend of November, and it's pretty good. We used to change our clocks back last weekend, which would be the 27th of October. They passed a law a few years ago that said we do it now. So I don't know why they did that, but they did. So there you go. Now, some people will say, oh, but it gets dark. It's too dark. And that's true. But you know what? It's dark already. So what's another hour going to make? And personally, I'd take it for the extra hour of sleep. And by the way, you can tell that it's light outside. It gets very dark in the mornings. Like, I have to get up to go to work at 8:30 in the morning. And when I get up, it's dark. That is not a good feeling. You're supposed to go to bed when it's dark, okay? And most people go to bed at 11, 10, 11. It's dark then by 10, 11 all the time. It's supposed to be light when you wake up though, and it's not right now, and it's really annoying. It's another reason why I love the fall time change. It can be a nuisance in that you have to change all your clocks back. But most clocks do it automatically now. Like, I have a smartphone, it'll do it automatically. I have an alarm clock, it does it automatically. My computer that I'm talking to you on right now, it does it automatically. So most things do it automatically now, which kind of lessens the impact. I hate that word, it's not a transitive verb. It lessens the nuisance, I guess we'll say. Anyway, but yeah, the time change. It's pretty awesome. What are your thoughts about the time change? Don't comment. You can't comment. Time change also is a big party night, which this year is interesting because Halloween happened yesterday. So people went out and partied then, and they're going to go out and party again. Do you like to party? I'm lukewarm on it myself. I mean, I will do it. It's not my first thing that I like to do, but when push comes to shove, I can party. Can you? If you can at all, you should do it this weekend because you get an extra hour or two. A lot of things that people... Sorry about that. I knocked some books over. A lot of things... One thing that people don't realize is that it says you get an extra hour of sleep, you don't actually have to use that extra hour of sleep. You can use it however you want. You can use it to party, you can use it to read, you can use it to watch TV, you can use it to eat, you can use it to, drive, you can use it to walk up and down the street randomly talking to people, you can use it to have sex. There's literally so many things you can do in that hour, that the possibilities are endless. They're endless. Do anything you want. Think about it. Somebody says you have an hour of time that we just added to your day. You'd say, well, that's ridiculous. One day a year it happens. We just get an extra hour. We can do whatever we want. Doesn't matter. So that's pretty cool. Just got a text. Wanted to see who it was from. But yeah, as we approach the halfway mark, you should think about what you're going to do with your extra hour this coming Sunday. One thing I don't understand with the time change, why 2 a.m.? Seems like a random hour. Why not have it at midnight when the day begins? Why 2 a.m.? Actually, I can answer that rhetorical question. The reason it's not at midnight is because that would confuse people. Can you imagine if it went to midnight and then all of a sudden it's not that day anymore? Like it hits midnight, so it's supposed to be Sunday, but then all of a sudden it's Saturday again. That'd be confusing. So 2 a.m. I guess is a convenient time because it's in the middle of the night. They're not going to do it at like 2 p.m. Can you imagine that? You're at work and all of a sudden, I mean, that'd be really confusing. They try to minimize the confusion level, I guess was the idea behind that. But hey, it's pretty awesome. In the springtime change, if you work 8 hours, you only have to work 7 hours. You technically get paid for 8. Now in the fall, that kind of sucks because you worked for 8 hours. You worked for 9 hours, but you only got paid for 8. So if you have to work in the middle of the night, tomorrow night, I feel sorry for you. But hey, sign up to work the next time change in the spring because you get paid more money than you actually worked, which is always pretty cool. Getting paid for doing nothing is, it's awesome. Doesn't everyone love that? You get paid to sit around doing nothing. I love that. It'd be awesome. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way, except on the springtime change. If you work in the middle of the night, then it does work like that. That's my thoughts about working on the time, working through it. But yeah, they do it on a weekend, minimize stuff. And on a Sunday, who doesn't like to sleep in on Sunday mornings? I love to sleep in on Sunday mornings. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So I do hope you enjoy your extra hour of sleep. I know I will be enjoying my extra hour of sleep. Or partying, whatever you're doing that day. But yeah. What else can I talk about for the next 2.5 minutes that relates to time? This is my watch. I'll have to manually change it back. If you do have a watch or a clock that you wind, piece of advice, it's your piece of daily life advice for the day, do it forward. A lot of clocks you can't move backwards or else everything gets screwed up. So if you're changing your watch, especially if you have a watch like mine where you can't, it's not digital, just sit there. It takes 3 seconds extra. Wind it up all the way around because, then you won't have a broken watch. And that could be problematic. So you'll want to do that. And enjoy your extra hour of sleep once you're done. If you're watching the news is my topic on Monday. And if you are watching the news, they'll remind you to turn your clocks back before you go to bed. Don't wait up till 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, you'd have to be really dumb not to understand this, but some people, I guess there are some idiots out there who think that because it turns at 2 a.m., that they actually have to wait up until 2 a.m. or get up at 2 a.m. and do it then. If you think that, number one, you're really stupid. Number two, you don't have to do that. Just do it before you go to bed. It's a lot easier. It'll save you a lot of time and stress. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Anyway, we're coming up to the end. 1 more minute to go. So I'm going to sign off now. I hope you enjoyed this week of daily life. I haven't changed my calendar yet. So I'm going to do that right now so that I can tell you that the next episode of The Daily Life will air on Monday, November the 4th. And the topic will be loose change. So I hope you will tune in for that. Until then, I wish you the most pleasant of weekends. And don't forget to turn your clocks back at 2 o'clock, or as 99.9% of society does, just do it before you go to bed. See you on Monday. Have a great weekend, folks.